On the 7th of October 2023, the world held its breath when Hamas launched a whopping 3,000 rockets against Israel, igniting a conflict of unprecedented magnitude that shook the very foundations of imagination. Even such genocidal scenarios haven't happened during World War II. The conflict is so intense, yet no one is laying down their weapons. But what's all this fuss? Let's take a closer look in this video. You may not believe it, but people are literally killed every hour on both sides of the world. Mass slaughtering is at its peak, and the territorial and economic freedoms of both nations have been immensely destroyed, yet the war continues. However, it's not only Israel and Palestine making waves. The world started getting involved long ago, but they have just gotten the exposure. Thus, Iran, a heartfelt supporter of Hamas, has unveiled its hypersonic missile. And needless to say, the missile has shocked Russia, the United States, and of course, Israel. The Irani hypersonic isn't just a behemoth defensive weapon. It's a literal goat that's got powers to wipe off Israel from the world's map within just 7 minutes. Can you imagine? However, you must have been thinking that this missile is a reaction to ongoing actions. Heck no. Iran had done this way before such conflict was even predicted to happen in 2023. The hypersonic missile made its debut in June 2023, and until that, no Israel and Palestine genocide was happening. It was the calm before the chaos. This bombastic bomb dropper has such a powerful name, Fatah, which means to win. Fatah isn't an ordinary missile, it's much more than what you have previously imagined. And the fun part, even the United States, Germany, and Russia couldn't think this way to build such a defensive weapon. Iran says their hypersonic missile is capable of breaching defense systems, which could cause further concerns for the West and Israel. The hypersonic missiles are basically projectiles. They can move at a speed of at least Mach 5, or 5 times the speed of sound, approximately making up 6,174 kilometers per hour, or even faster. It's way beyond the speed of a Panzer tank or whatever fancy weapons. Their main purpose is to be as fast as the speed of light, so none of the traditional defensive weapons can dare to surpass them. However, some other ballistic missiles have already reached such a crazy speeding factor, but Fatah is still exceptional, as it can take a more random path to its intended target after plunging back into Earth's atmosphere. This capability even fails the radar systems to detect them, to be later destroyed by defensive shields. However, while we discuss what holy grail hypersonic missiles are, it's needless to say some other countries are already testing them even before Iran. The United States hopes that this ballistic weapon will give its military a new rise, but unfortunately the challenges are formidable. They have conducted several tests and are working on both offensive and defensive hypersonic capabilities. There are pretty complex challenges in making such a crazy defensive system. It may be due to friction from the upper atmosphere producing extremely high temperatures, while the missile's high speed produces superheated particles that hinder radio communications. Nevertheless, this time, Russia is taking pride more than the US, and they have claimed to deploy some of these ballistic holy grails in their armed forces, such as the Avangard and the Kinzhal. Even China is far away from the United States and continuously conducts tests on hypersonic glide vehicles and is known to be working on various hypersonic missiles. Either this defensive missile is the end of traditional war systems or it is taking the war to a new height. This secret can only be revealed with time. Have you heard, everyone is the hero until the real hero comes? This is what exactly Iran did. Their ballistic missile is far, far beyond what Russia and China were planning. Iran says their ballistic projectile got a crazy range of 1,400 kilometers and can move at a massive speed up to Mach 15, 5.1 kilometers, or 3.2 miles per second before hitting its target. The best feature? It claimed to have a movable secondary nozzle and solid propellants that allow for high maneuverability within and outside the atmosphere. Can you guess what makes this claim interesting? The top IRGC has already made this statement before that says no missile defense system in the world is a match for it. And quite literally, this ballistic holy grail is a total hit, and everyone's sure it will take the war to new heights. Iran is so far quite excited and thrilled about their hypersonic bombed missile, and is pretty sure it will give them a significant rise in the world map. That's their answer to all the generational leaps Iran faced back then. And thus, Iranian authority is pretty sure that Fatah will make Iran more powerful and better at deterring potential threats. But here's a kicker. Not all the countries believe that Iran could make something this powerful. Some Western countries doubt Iran's claims about developing super-fast missiles. In short, they weren't expecting that hypersonic missiles could even be made by an Eastern country. Moving back to the Fatah Goat, it's worth mentioning that this hypersonic missile has got some pretty exceptional features. It's nothing like a typical hypersonic missile or a high-speed maneuvering. Instead, Fatah falls into this category. It's a medium-range ballistic missile, and its phenomenal design says more about its significance. Its development represents a significant stride in enhancing its ability to perform maneuvers both within and outside Earth's atmosphere. The maneuverability of Fatah aims to make the missile more accurate and survivable, which means to escape the radar detections and get out of the enemy's eyes. And this is what's driving the United States and Russia totally crazy. They are absolutely mad thinking about the disaster this habit can create in the future. Even wars will be revolutionized. Probably nothing like guns, swords, panzer, and bombs will remain, as hypersonic missiles are likely to take over the defense industry. Despite this, the making of Fatah seems to have a motivational force behind, and guess what it is? Iran's biggest desire is to have the same pace as its regional rivals, such as the Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces Logistics, MODAFL, which unveiled the Khorram Sahar 4 MRBM earlier. Nevertheless, Fatah's manufacturing design is also itself truly top-notch. It has a solid propellant first stage, a feature consistent with previous Iranian missile designs. The second stage of the hypersonic missile's design has the warhead, aerodynamic head control, and a small solid propellant motor with a movable nozzle for thrust vector control. It's also worth mentioning that the second stage of the Fatah appears to be more like a maneuverable re-entry vehicle rather than a hypersonic glide vehicle. The best part? Both MARVs and HGVs are capable of making mid-flight maneuvers at hypersonic speeds. According to IRGC, the second stage motor of Fatah ignites and initiates its maneuvering phase at a distance of 300 to 500 kilometers from the target. However, Iran has shown progress in aerodynamic guidance technology over the years, which has increased missile accuracy and maneuverability. Iran has already shown great interest in this technology with earlier missile reveals, and its space program laid a foundation for developing the Fatah's outer space guidance system. Coming to the main point, should Israel and the West be concerned about the threatening progress of Iran? Well, the answer is yes. Iran has already shown threats to Israel, not in a direct way though. The Fatah missile has a range that is just short of the distance between Tehran and Tel Aviv. Nevertheless, IRGC Commander Amir Ali Hajizadeh even said that they are anticipating another hypersonic missile with an even greater range of 2,000 kilometers, or 1,242 miles, in the near future. The range is specifically set to deter Western countries that Iran is not behind them by any means. If the Fatah missiles were to achieve these high speeds and longer range, it could potentially reach Israeli targets in under 7 minutes. This would leave very little time for detection and interception, even for Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system. Summing up, whether it's Israel, the United States, Germany, or even Russia, these superpower nations should now be ready to face some real threats. Neither Eastern nor Western countries is left behind now. Thus, there stands no chance the war between Palestine, Israel, or any other government is going to stop anytime soon. With that, it's a wrap of our discussion. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know your thoughts on Fatah hypersonic missile in the comments. Until then, goodbye.